Hola everyone, JB Throws here back with another video. As you know, 2022 in these past 2 weeks kicked off with no slow momentum. From more announcements of new attractions opening soon this year, to Six Flags making surprising announcements of their own. And they're not about attractions. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, recently Six Flags has made some big corporate changes, and Mike Spanos, our most creative and best CEO we've gone to date, is now gone. His replacement, a brand new CEO by the name of mr.bassoul. But the reason why this is a problem is because Mike Spanos has really improved Six Flags as a whole, slowly allowing for this theme park chain to be top tier. But only after 1 year he now disappears, and Six Flags still hasn't given a reason why he's fired. But even with this, I still believe that Six Flags will continue on its same track, and that this new CEO will continue the legacy of Mike Spanos. Sadly, I was mistaken, because shortly after he was in charge, he started firing a lot of senior executives, chairmen, and basically the elderly of Six Flags, all because he wants new creative ideas. But then it got worse. Now, Ron McKenzie, the park president of my home park, Six Flags Over Texas, is gone, and there was no reason to fire him. Out of all the park presidents in the Six Flags chain, he was the best. Equivalent to Jeffrey Siebert, he strived to improve this park and make Over Texas a shining star once again. We saw returns of classic attractions and overall improvements with lots of exciting announcements for this year and the coming years for Over Texas. But now, it all comes to a stop, and Over Texas' future is very uncertain. And Over Texas isn't the only one in trouble. There could be a possibility of Six Flags' downfall. How will this happen, and how can we prevent it? Well, that's what I'll be discussing in today's video. But before I get into the video, I would like to say, if you like my content and videos, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell to know when new videos arrive on my channel. I'm very close to 3,000 subscribers, and it would be amazing if I'm able to achieve 3,000 before the month ends. So if you want to help out, definitely consider subscribing. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel for all those thrill seekers. JB Thrills has it all. This channel strives on variety and creative content, from different types of videos of thrills, like prediction videos, analysis videos, cinematic footage, and so much more. If it's a thrill, it's on this channel, no matter the location or type of ride. So if you're a thrill seeker, you should definitely consider sticking around. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into today's video. So 2022 has proven to be a little bit wild, and we're only in the first few weeks. Like, it's really good that Six Flags decided to make some management changes, but never in a million years would I think it would be like this. So to understand why Six Flags isn't a track for failure, let's start from the very beginning, starting all the way to 2020. In 2020, we all know about what happened. A pandemic hit and everything shut down. During this shutdown, we also had a very big management change, which was the step down of Jim Reed Anderson and getting replaced with Mike Spanos. Previously, Mike Spanos was the CEO of Pepsi, so he knows how to run a business. But the thing is, he was very different than previous CEOs. Instead of caring more about the money, Mike Spanos wanted to improve Six Flags overall, and he did this by hiring brand new park presidents and putting care into all his theme parks, not just favorites, because his main goal was to turn around Six Flags and make it more than just a discount chain. Then right after that, in 2021, we saw all the improvements take place, from more theming to more care, and even more investments on giant new attractions for Six Flags parks. So next, this leads to Ron McKenzie, the brand new park president of Over Texas. He started taking charge in 2021, and over those months, the park got a major facelift, from ride repaints, total reconstruction of the park, to new attractions for 2022, and so much more. And that was only his plan for 2021, with a lot more planned for 2022 and so on. But then all of a sudden, it's right before 2022, and we get an announcement of a CEO shift. A new CEO takes charge. And honestly, I was kind of surprised, because Mike Spanos only lasted like 2 years, maybe even less. And it's actually not natural for a CEO just to leave like that all of a sudden. And it didn't help that Six Flags had no reason at all for Mike Spanos leaving, which makes me believe it wasn't his decision, and it most likely wasn't his fault either. But despite the very weird timing to get rid of a CEO that was doing really good, may I add, I still had faith that this new CEO would do a great job as well. I mean, if you look at the track record of Mr.Bassoul, you can clearly see that he's done business for a very long time, and just like Mike Spanos, he has experience. Plus, in an interview in the past, he talked about how he always wants to innovate.
I think to innovate, you have to experiment.
And while he was not talking about Six Flags in that interview, if he likes to innovate, he can continue Mike Spanos' legacy and innovate Six Flags as a chain. So things looked positive. Emphasis on looked. Because now, recently in the first weeks of 2022, we got very saddening news that Ron McKenzie, the park president, that's been updating my home park and has been making it absolutely amazing, and is the first park president of Over Texas to actually care for this park, is now no longer working with Six Flags. Why? Well, he got fired. And why did he get fired? Well, just like Mike Spanos, Six Flags will not say why. But the main point is, this decision was made under Mr.Bassoul. And shortly before this, he got rid of a lot of senior leaders and executives, all because he wanted some more fresher ideas and creative ideas. But if that was the case, he should have never got rid of Ron McKenzie. Because there's other park presidents that definitely need some help, like St. Louis, over Georgia, and Frontier City. So then, I started doubting really hard, especially losing two major players in the Six Flags chain. But oh no, that's not it. Then, for 2022, Mr. Bassoul decided to focus more on financially fixing Six Flags, according to his one and only interview. And while yes, he did promise to fix the culinary of Six Flags, which is very helpful and really needed, that's not going to make a difference with what he's going to do next. Next, he's deciding to put more care into the bigger parks and start to play favorites, while the smaller parks get less park hours. And there's even rumors that the smaller parks with less capacity or not good attendance will even not have events like Fright Fest or Holiday in the Park. And this actually might be true considering that Over Texas isn't having their Fire and Ice Winter Festival while Fiesta Texas gets to have their Mardi Gras Festival. So yeah, it's not looking good. So why is Six Flags in trouble? Because from this angle you're probably thinking, oh, he's probably just ranting because his home park is getting dusted on. And you're not wrong, I'm very disappointed in the decision that Six Flags made for Ron McKenzie. He had so much potential and had a vision for Over Texas. So for him to say goodbye to his loving park is just heartbreaking. But despite this, there's a general concern for Six Flags as a whole. So where's the proof of this? Well, it's actually right there. Starting with park hours. This affects every Six Flags park that's considered small. So any park that's not Magic Mountain, Fiesta Texas, Great Adventure, and Great America is in very big trouble. I understand they're smaller parks and they do need some work, but cutting park hours to them is just not it. And removing their events is also not the way to help these parks. The apparent argument for this is that it's going to save money. But with that mindset, Six Flags is going to go in the trash. And I'm being very honest. Six Flags needs to pour money into their parks because the more money you put in, the more you'll get out of it. As we saw with Fiesta Texas getting an actual B&M dive. And without the classic every theme park needs a new ride every year mindset, this allows for more money in the bank to invest in bigger attractions for every park in the chain, whether it's big or small. Because the point isn't to play favorites, it's to take care of the entire chain. But if we continue in this path, all the small parks will be obsolete. And they just lost half of their business, making Six Flags in more trouble and can possibly lead to more bankruptcy. So in order for Six Flags to get more money, they need more aspiring leaders in every park, because with that, Six Flags can improve as a whole. Basically, park presidents are like the mayor of a town. They live there, so they know how it's like, and they know exactly what to give their town, while the CEO just manages it all, but he doesn't exactly know what each park needs. So cutting hours thinking that the whole business will be better that way isn't good. It should be up to the park presidents. But now that we're on that topic, park presidents won't get to do anything because now Mr. Bassoul is ruling kind of with an iron fist. If he decides what hours the park presidents need to have for their park, that's not giving freedom for them to expand. And by restricting events, it also doesn't give any creative freedom to them. And it doesn't help that he keeps firing aspiring leaders. For example, Ron McKenzie, and this is not a good sign because that means he can get rid of any park president if he wants. That means Jeffrey Siebert could be in trouble, the park president of Magic Mountain could be in trouble. Oh, and by the way, Great America's park president died, unrelated to this, but now they lost an aspiring leader as well. And if he keeps firing more aspiring leaders, Six Flags is in very, very big trouble. And no offense to Bassoul, but fixing Six Flags' financial state will not always be the solution to the problem, as we saw time and time again in the past of Six Flags' history. A prime example of this is Six Flags Astroworld. This park was definitely a success for Six Flags. It was one of their most profitable, and was a testing ground for brand new attractions never before seen. But then, in 2005, it got removed. Why? Well, for money. At the time, the CEO was Kieran Burke, and Six Flags Astroworld shared a parking lot with the Astrodome, and it was a big problem due to overflow and shows taking place in either venues. And according to Kieran Burke, the area that Astroworld sat on was very valuable because if it got turned into a parking lot, it could be valuable for the stadium and give Six Flags a big prize in their wallet. And again, he was thinking about the money, not about how well the park was doing and how it impacted Houston overall. So Six Flags went ahead with it because of course Kieran Burke was the CEO. Then what happened next was a huge mistake. The estimated value never came close. And turns out the land that Astroworld sat on was not valuable at all. The thing was, it was already too late and Astroworld was now in scraps. So Kieran Burke got fired, and we lost a great theme park that day. Now how does this relate to now? Well, Mr.Bassoul is thinking about the financial. And while yes, you need to think about the money that Six Flags makes, it's not everything. So removing park presidents, only caring about the major parks, that's a disaster waiting to happen. And it could honestly make Six Flags go bankrupt or way worse. And yes, worse than the Astroworld incident. So what do we do to solve this issue? Or can we do anything? In fact, we can. As fans, we should definitely voice our opinion. We're the guests and the people that pay to go to these theme parks. So as the CEO, you need to listen to your guests and employees at the park. And as Mr. Bassoul said in his previous interview,
I like to seek out and act upon advice of others, listening to others, and seek the input and the feedback from different opinions and perspectives.
so if he likes hearing feedback, we should give him all the feedback that he needs. And while it sounds impossible that our voice could change the opinion of Six Flags, it actually isn't, because especially in these past years, we've seen that fans can change a lot. From changing the design of Sonic in the movie Sonic the Hedgehog, to wild ideas that brought 3 Spider-Men on screen for Spider-Man No Way Home. So yeah, as the guests of Six Flags, we can voice our opinion, and possibly sway the previous decisions made, allowing for more justice to all the theme parks in the Six Flags chain, and possibly seeing the return of Ron McKenzie to Six Flags Over Texas. So in result, I have 2 predictions that can go either way. If our voice is loud enough, we can change Six Flags' decision, and Six Flags can go back on track. But if not, and we continue on this road, Six Flags will be very interesting this year, and we'll see lots of major changes, some not in a good way. And while I don't usually make negative predictions like that, it's just very likely, especially with what's going on right now. And with the brand new variant of COVID spreading around America, if we go to shutdown again, without Mike Spanos' help to guide us out, Six Flags could be bankrupt and be in very big trouble. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens next. So what do you think? Should Mike Spanos return? And if you go to Over Texas, do you think Ron McKenzie will return? And if not, will we get a new park president that's just as passionate as Ron? Comment down below. Anyways, thank you for watching. This is JB Thrills signing out.